Welcome back, Ultimate fans. Fourth stream of the day on the Monday of the Canadian Ultimate Championships Junior Edition. I'm here with Kat Fortin. This is a do-over, Kat.
Oui, merci. Malheureusement, avec la tempête hier, on a dû faire un petit délai. Donc, on commence aujourd'hui encore. Espérons, sans faire de jinx, qu'il n'y aura pas de tonnerre.
Yeah, no jinx. It's sunny right now, and nothing can go wrong. Anyway, Helios from BC in dark today, and Golden Fringants in white. Yesterday, during their game, we reached a score of 1-1 before there was a second aforementioned delay. And what happens in these instances is the score remains whatever it was, the time remains whatever it was, and then we finish the round now. So the horn for game start and pull in the air just went, but we're actually waiting 4.5 minutes before we play here, thanks to thanks to what had happened. That's how much time had passed, and the score was 1-1. So right now, the score is 1-1, and the observers are holding GF from pulling right now until we reach that 4.5 minute mark, and that way we pick up where we left off.
Un petit recap de hier. Golden Fringants, ils ont gagné le dernier point avec 2 layouts consecutively. Puis c'est vraiment cool à voir.
So, while we wait, the difference here tonight, a little less pressure, right? You're still on the stream. We were just talking about this, and we wonder, is it a bit of a relief for the teams if they were nervous about being on the showcase game? Because this time, the big difference is there's not 1,000 people your age watching you.
I think so, and this time you really have your parents in the bleachers and your family and all your friends are really there to support you without having all eyes on you.
Yeah. I was almost thinking, if anyone was feeling pressure about the stream after last night's experience, today is just going to be refreshing. Now you're ready to go. Your first experience, nothing was your fault. You didn't do anything wrong. The weather just didn't play ball, and now you get another go in it, and it's not a big deal anymore, at least I hope.
And on top of that, both teams have had games today, so they've had some time to break the ice and, have more flow with each other, more connections, so now they're just on camera.
Yeah. Like that tough thing about being in the showcase game is that's your first game of the weekend, right? You better be on if you're feeling like you got to shake the rust off or anything. Again, doing it in front of everybody's a lot of pressure. But now you're in the flow of things. It's your last game in pool play. These teams are P3 and P4, so they're actually more evenly matched seating-wise. So, and I mean, from what we were seeing last night, even though the win was far more bananas than it is now, it was looking to be an even matchup.
100%. So it'll be very interesting to see how what to expect in this game. We've seen a lot of zone today, so it'll be fun to see if any of the teams are going to pull a zone as well.
So GF, if you didn't hear me say it last night, they're being really nice to the Anglos over here and just saying I can call them GF on this stream. They are from Gatineau and Sherbrooke. Practicing for them has been complex as they have to find ways to put the team together. So they like to run training camps and everything. Helios is from Kamloops. This year they've just been in the upswing in recruitment and retention of better players. They've got players on the team who've been playing 4 or 5 years now with the squad, so they have really grown. So exciting to see both teams coming into this game, both having coalesced, let's say, in their seasons to become more of a complete picture.
And we can't forget the most important part, Kamloops with a C. With a K.
It's with a K. Oh my God. Okay, so don't go to BC. Target on your back. You might as well have just called them Kelowna. It's cool. The BC people know what I'm talking about. See Petra down there, Coach Petra, she's giving us the wave. She's hearing me correct you. She's just like, oh, it's on. Kat, I'll protect you. It's okay. Don't
That's
worry.
why we're up in a tower.
Yeah, we have a little gate. Security will protect us. We've got Golden boys on the sideline already singing the Olé song. It is what they sang for the entirety of the turbocharged opening ceremony last night. And it looks like it's time to pull. So GF's ready. Deruzeau is going to chuck it, and we're off. It's a short pull. She kind of whiffed on it, lands at the brick. So Helios is only 20 yards out of the end zone to get their quote-unquote second point on the board. They start with the vertical. There's a fake line on the field that was brought up, so Alberts thought she wasn't in, but she was, and pitches that to Adrena Robinson, and Helios quickly punching that in off the whiffed pull to score 2-1 for Helios.
That was a beautiful around OI throw to make the point, especially when your defender is facing you and playing honest D. It's hard to see that, and that's when you really want your team to call those up calls.
Yeah, I liked how Helios just ran down the pole, even though it was really short, and was just ready to go too. Sometimes it's almost too easy to say, oh, okay, let's take our time and relax, but instead just getting down there with some energy to keep GF on the back foot on defense. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, that song's gonna make me crazy.
I mean, there's some controversial cheers. There are other cheers that can get stuck in your head. There's I think a couple basketball cheers have been converted.
Yeah, perhaps. So this ball landing at about midfield. Deruzeau. Oh no, excuse me, that was Gagnon pitching it to the middle. We're seeing a zone from Helios here with the trap on the sideline, a big wrap. Gagnon is going to flip it back. GF looking for the around break right away, something you got to do against the zone. That throw goes up, and a big bring down by number 4, Talia Halperin. And Helios with a chance to break for the first break of the game. Plaxton looking for options, lots of pump fakes. Eventually finds Kinley Stewart. Helios just outside of the end zone. DeVries knew right away as soon as she released it that Halperin's check was in front. So no joy for Helios. GF with a chance for a dirty hold. That's thrown over in the wind. Marika Belanger putting her hands on her head, knowing that she should have put a little bit more zip on that to keep it down. Plaxton will go across. DeVries will go back to Plaxton. Plaxton looking for the OI, and that time easily fielded by Helios. Talia Halperin with the goal. And that is a break for Helios, and for the uninitiated and ultimate, a break is when you score, when you start the point on defense, and you need those to win games. So Helios taking a lead. Helios, I feel like has the energy right now, Kat.
100%. But I love how Golden Fringants on the sideline still are continuous with their cheers and keeping their heads up. So it's always great to have.
And we saw that. You were producing earlier today, but we saw that from the Nitro squad from BC today. They went down early and kept themselves in the game throughout the entire match against Manitoba. And while Manitoba did win, Nitro showed a lot of heart, and I don't think there's anything stopping any team here from showing that heart, and GF already showing that with their energy on the sideline. So very early, see how they bounce back. But this downwind pull is just gonna float nicely down deep into the zone of GF. Helios comes down in his own defense. Great save by number 10. Juliet Pazuchek, that was Naomi Prince with the save, a great dig. But unfortunately, after a few passes, that is thrown too high for Gagnon. Dundas swings it to the middle. Fessenden needs a dump. Instead, she's going to go through the middle. But a great run through D there by Prince. Prince showing lots of athleticism at this point. But Helios will set that zone back up. And they're electing to go with the wrap. You see number 44 going all the way to the right, so they can't dump and swing. But GF says that's just fine. I've got Ott going deep. And now about at the brick. GF moves it around. Basile to Prince. Prince finds a hole to Derizo, but it's just too short. Dundas picks up. And past the bidding GF player. And then it bounces off the hands. Do we get a second effort? No, a good try by number 24. Lily Eckerman. GF checks out her to make sure she's okay. And Basile will swing that to Derizo. Bruno gets that over to Basile. She'll find a quick swing to Bellon. And after a little give-go action, that's brought in by Eve Derizo. So GF getting that hold and really fighting through the gust, where we have had our win most of the day, making that left side of the field very difficult to score on. So very important hold for them this early in the game.
Very resilient. It really shows that both teams really want it.
So this is not Helios' first try at going upwind to score here. They did it earlier. It was a bit of a lull at the beginning of the game, and now we're back to fun win time. But all these teams today have seemed rather undaunted in their effort and gameplay. No one really succumbing to the elements. Helios sets him in a vertical, gets it to the middle. GF comes down in a zone, kind of sluffy, and then tightens up with some time here. Helios does find something through the middle to Robinson. And bouncing off the hands of Philpott, she's able to keep it alive. She gets it around to the Berkler. Berkler looking for a crash, something upfield, will turn around, looks at Philpotts, doesn't like it, tries to go through the middle again, but this time Prince is waiting for it. Naomi Prince making some huge plays for GF. Huppé to Prince, looking for a dump. She has Ott. Great movement here by GF. Handler core liking to swing it around. Huppé needs an option. And that bounces off the hands of Prince. De Berkler is picking up. Looking ahead, most of her team's behind her, but she's got Philpotts to swing to. Doesn't like the look. Helios starts moving it around to the outside. And a block on Jones's throw. The sideline goes wild.
You can feel the energy.
GF trapped on the sideline. And Ott seemed to run out of time and went for the huck, but didn't quite get the edge on it she wants, and that hits some sideline players. And it went out of bounds immediately, so DeBerkler will walk that up. She goes deep and connects with Alberts, who quickly flips that to Robinson, and Helios gets the hold upwind at a score of now 4-2. Chad, if I ask you to put a coaching hat on, anything different you want to see from either team that point?
What I've noticed for both teams, a lot of success comes from when they're able to move the disc across the field and just really use that space, take their time, and then go back to basics.
Yeah, totally agree. Like, especially in Helios' case, holding it in the middle is hurting them. Of course, that's not to say, hey, the best place in a zone is on the sideline. No, of course not. But you need some motion. You don't want to just hold it in the middle and wait for some options. Pop it through the middle. Do little passes to get yards at a time. Make the zone move around so you can find some holes. It's just a little static.
My favorite thing is literally making the cup run, because in my head I think no one wants to run in a cup. You have to tire them out.
Yeah, if you're letting the defense get comfortable, they have the initiative. And on offense, you always want to retain that initiative. So even just keeping it in the middle with some give-go passes would be helpful. But nevertheless, Helios scored. And that pull is going to land at the brick mark. Derizo. I am bad at that one. Picks up zone from Helios here. Looking for some options. Handler core with Derizo, Bazil. GF is able to punch that through the middle. Tenyu and Caldwell. And flips back to Bazil. Just like this is the sort of give-go action we were kind of talking about we're seeing here, right? GF is keeping that zone moving. They're kind of stuck right now. But not letting this zone get set. This handler core from GF working really hard to get things moving until Helios puts on a big D, so they're forced to huck it, but Bazil brings it in. She's not in, looking for a quick flip. She has it. And there's a discussion about a travel. She might have thrown it from inside the end zone and never established herself back on the goal line. We have some very experienced observers in this game that will help us out. And sometimes some education on the rules is part of what they do in the junior division.
Mais tu as raison, tantôt, Clay, GF, ils ont vraiment profité des petites passes pour se rendre au fond. Puis là, avec la dernière passe, ils ont vraiment profité.
Yeah, it seemed, GF was moving it really well, and then Helios caught on. Right, and then we saw way more of a clamp. So they did force Deruzo to take the big shot. And that is confirmed as a goal. That was number 7, Marie Pomelo, that gets the goal on the stat sheet. Sometimes there is a rule that exists, and I'm not the best person to say when it should and shouldn't be used. Those would be the people in orange, but sometimes you can discuss too. Would a travel call on the goal line where I didn't establish my foot exactly on the line after catching it and then throwing a goal really have changed the outcome? Was it a travel that affected the throw or the play? And if it didn't, you can actually say, all right, I may have lifted my foot or I may have thrown it from an inch in bounds, but it doesn't matter. The goal's going to stand. And that discussion could have happened right there, too.
Mais tu as raison, parce que aussi, on a remarqué avant que Helios ils ont attrapé avec la grosse passe de la longue, il y avait seulement peut-être 3 joueurs de Fringants qu'il n'y avait aucun joueur couvert. Donc, ça fait pas une grosse différence.
Yeah. Yeah, there were lots of options. Bazil could kind of pick and choose there. So the score now, 4-3. Helios with their first pass, turfs it. The hands go on the head, and Tasha Jones, no, she whiffed that. She was trying to give go before she actually thrown it. And so GF on the brick mark now. Hot, looking for options. And she finds Gagnon, who wants to go upfield. She signals that she's looking for a reset. Doesn't like the pass. Starting to run out of time. But an outstretched grab by the other Gagnon. They'll get it to pass. And we're seeing that inside break bounces off Gagnon's hands. I should say there's an Alice and an Elise Gagnon, so a little tic-tac-toe between them. And Helios electing to go over the zone. Philpotts is there to bring it in. Helios has had success going around the cup of GF here. Now they're doing what we wanted to see earlier, is more dynamic movement, feeling stuck. Looking to the crash first. They go around to Philpotts. That's far. She turns on the Jets, tracks it down, and then has an easy shot into the end zone. So Philpotts getting it done that point. And Helios highlighted her as someone they would be relying on, and has been dominant as an underager. She's been underage, that is to say, playing in the senior years, like with the grade 11s and the grade 12s. She was younger, and she's been playing with them mostly. So she's made a big difference in that age group. And she actually played at PAUC on the West team in the under 17s and led them in scoring. So with speed like that, I think I can see why.
Prodigy in the making.
Yeah. From what town?
Kamloops.
With a
K.
Yeah.
And I should know this because my name's Kat with a K. If I didn't know better, your sunglasses are blocking your death stare.
Oh no. Hey, I'm not from there. It's cool. I'm just trying to, shield you.
Keep the peace.
So offside signaled. That means the defense crossed the goal line before the pole was in the air. What GF elect to do is let it hit the ground so they can take it from the brick. The disc so happened to land at the brick, so we're in the same situation. Helios with the zone. And we've been saying all game we want to see dynamic movement, find the holes. There it is. GF moving the disc quick. And I like the look, but just goes off the hands a little too high. Now Alberts will swing that to the middle to Veller. Veller giving the head tilt. Go to the right. Alberts does. They find a hold of Philpotts. Philpotts had a few receivers and made the smart decision not to throw into that traffic, but a pick develops from that play, so those players will catch up. Philpotts looking for options. Looking at that stack for quite a while. There's an undercut and some great defense by number 7, Paul Malo, who read that all the way in. Helios gets their zone on immediately. GF, though, trying to move it quick. Some fakes through the zone, not quite there. Bruno will get that to Derizo, who's really trying to work that break side, but Helios is just, there's 6 players almost in this cup right now. And Kat, like you were saying earlier, lots of people available downfield, but I'm almost thinking that was Helios' game plan to force that high throw.
You can see it too, the way that they're placed was it prevents any in cuts towards, and it prevents the poppers to be available to the handlers for that zone.
Clog work for them. There's Robinson hitting the ground to keep it alive for Helios. There's a big pick, and it looks like Alberts might have known and turns around to face the play. Maybe not. They'll discuss. Coach Petra there on the sideline to coach a player. Just stop. They'll catch up. Go, Coach Petra. Robinson looking for a dump swing right away. Will go up to the line to her handler, but Desrouzeau saw it coming and gets the easy poach block. Good heads up D. Belanger digs that out of the ground. She's looking for some options. This zone again, a collapse. It's one mark, three players around, and then some poaches behind. Force tricky throws. That bounces off Bazile's hands. And Helios with the quick punch. Everyone's looking around, asking, is Bon allowed to do that? And she is. But there seems to be some confusion. Yeah, that was legal. You can pick it up really fast and throw really fast. It's just everybody didn't seem to have the sense of what was going on defense, but that's... I'm not sure who got the goal there. Did you see?
Too many people.
I think it was Phil Potts.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't, I'm sorry, Helios player. You can write me some nasty feedback in the YouTube chat comments, whatever.
I really have to say, I just want to call out Golden Fringants for that defense, a few passes before, because I love when defenders are able to notice that and peel off and intercept that goal. It just shows you how aware you have to be and how when the disc is in the air, it belongs to anybody.
Oh yeah, very heads up, and that also demonstrates a sense of like knowing what's happening. Right? Like, you understand the offense that the other team is running so that you can get in the way and do something about it. Good. Showing off, you're a student of the game.
Field IQ is so huge, and it's a very underrated skill that I don't think a lot of people talk about, but it is so deadly when you have it.
Yeah. Okay, Helios was offside. So in letting the disc hit the ground, GF could bring it to the middle. I don't think they saw the offside, and the observers, all they have to do is signal it. So the Helios zone gets to set up on plans in good field position for the defense here. Tricky for the offense. Basile wants to go around this cup. It has been stifling. There are 5 players around the thrower. They're baiting this deep. And it just bounces off the hands of Derizo. Haley Dean was there to make that difficult. The idea works. No mark on the throw. Palmer wants someone to go deep. She puts it up high. I would have liked to see some under action there. You could have got a good give-go going. And throwing into traffic can be tricky. Derizo brings that one in from Ott, and she does a quick flip to Bruno. And that is a goal, bringing our score to 6-4 for Helios. Some good composure there from GF to get that dirty hold. It is tough if I put my coaching hat on.
I was just going to ask you to put your coaching hat on.
Oh, were you? Oh,
Yes,
how fortuitous. It's tough when you don't have a mark to fall into the bad habit of, I'm all alone, I have the disc, I can throw literally anything I want right now, somebody go. To have that monologue in your head is tough, because sometimes the better choice is, hey, with some help here and some discipline, I can probably get the same amount of yards in this win, the 34 yards I would with a long throw. If me and another player just end up in a 2-on-1, I have no check. We can do whatever we want with short throws, and we have to make 4 passes instead of 1. Right? But when you're a thrower, that impulse of someone come on, someone go, is just so powerful. And with some experience, you can kind of quell that demon.
And when you find that cutter and you have that connection, they become your favorite player.
Oh yeah, you start doing those give-goes all the time. Pull lands inbounds and slides out, so it'll be taken from the sideline by DeBerkler. Horizontal offense by Helios. Phil Potts looks to be isoing the middle, but the disc is on the sideline. Helios will swing it to the middle. Jones. Her throw gets picked up in the wind, that IO edge. Bounces off. Duma James and GF now with the chance for a break. But just as the wind popped up that throw for Helios, it does for GF. Helios will go for the big hug. and it's just out of bounds off of Robinson's foot. I believe she touched it once she was out, so we've got observer demarcation here with the little orange pylon of where the disc went out. Everyone's behind the play here. No one actually saw where it went out. So look how many players are behind the play right now. Ott looking for options, throwing some big fakes. It's not there. Instead, she goes around to Hupe. Hupe wants the around. Instead, she'll go for the inside, the pass, but that's thrown a little too late. And it's broken up by Alberts. Alberts looks for Philpotts. She's running out of time. We'll go to DeBerkler, who, wow, I have never seen this. DeBerkler has hands on it. Gagnon trapped it with her elbow. Gagnon seems to think, yeah, you might have had it. Okay. If she stops the rotation, trapping her arm on it, she would technically have it.
And she was. And
but was it a tie?
Was behind her too.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that later. That was wild.
Yes.
All right, Helios with the disc. Robinson on the sideline. Helios dropping into their vertical end zone set. Handler goes up the line. Robinson's running out of options. She'll pitch that into the stack, but GF is there to make the big sky D. Prince reels that in from Gagnon. Gagnon keeps that alive. She'll find Hupe up the line. Pomelo puts that up. It's a little shallow and just a little awkward with the wind shortening that throw. Everybody's fine. Natasha Jones has DeBerkler for the wide open swing. Vertical set, from Helios. That throw pops up. And that Peyton Alberts wins the sky battle there to keep it alive. Seeing a lot of throws go up high right now, Kat. Very difficult for players to reel them in. Sometimes they do, but other times it's tricky.
Or even just getting the dynamics with the wind and learning to use the wind to your advantage is a huge key piece with Frisbee.
Beloche's throw, not the intended receiver in Hupe, but GF keeps it alive. Hupe goes around the pass. That's a little bit behind her. DeBerkler picks up. Had an undercut thrown to a little bit late and goes behind her intended receiver. Now, Desrizeau with the disc. She'll go to Hupe. Prince. Looking for options, signals for the around. Easily thrown to Gagnon. Gagnon wants that open side, it's not there. She has a reset though. Good presence there by Bellon to bail her out. Hupe has the speedy Prince up the line, who pitches it quickly for the goal to her teammates. Did you see who that was? We're trying.
Non, mais
Numbers are hard, everybody.
Mais comme tu avais mentionné, vraiment avantageux pour Golden Fringants, c'est les petites passes rapides aussi, parce que ça donne pas la chance de Helios pour mettre leur défense sur l'équipe.
And that's a real contrast we're seeing through both teams, because Helios, we've seen most of their turnovers coming from electing to just jack it, just go for it and throw it deep. Where, GF is showing a lot more discipline, and it's paying off because we're back now to a 1-point game.
I think it just goes to show you how patience is so important, so key, especially when you're doing short passes across the field. Like, you're right. There is this burning urge of, let's just huck it. Let's just send it to the person who's running deep. But sometimes with this wind too, your short, quick passes are really the key.
We have a timeout from one of the teams here, so they're 90 seconds. They go quick. Do you know how many times when I've fell prey to my own emotions and wanted to throw it, I've yelled at my team, "You know I throw, right?" Yeah. That is a twofold thing, a problem of me giving into that impulse and also talking about how great I think I am while in a game. My teammates love that. I'm sure that's their favorite quality about me on the ultimate field.
It's their favorite part.
Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, why wouldn't that be the best part? But we're grandmasters, so we all have egos and we're slow. So we just kind of expect each other to.
It's relaxed. It's not slow. It's relaxed.
Relaxed.
Relax. Everyone has a nice sideline chair. Everyone walks to the disc.
You're really selling the division. I like that.
I know. I'm excited for when I get to Masters. I'm already counting down the days.
Yeah.
Years. Sorry.
You can be excited about it. It's, you feel great now, and then you'll hit eligible age, and you're like, yeah, I'm ready. Masters, great. I'm aging in. Let's go. Why does my knee hurt? That's kind of how it goes.
I mean, I feel like I can already relate with my knee that I just had
Oh, that's
surgery
right.
with.
Why did I say knee? I'm sorry. You may have a knee injury that I just remembered about that when you said that. I'm so sorry. All right. 6-5 for Helios. GF's pull, a good one, landing at the brick. They get their zone down there quick. 5 players around the throw, very tight mids. Filler's able to reel that in, puts them in a tricky field position though. So we've got this loose cup and aggressive mids. There's 5 players around, but Helios going for these little passes, something we've wanted to see from Helios to quickly get through this zone. Bond gets it over to Veller.
C'est un bon ajustement que Golden Fringants ils font parce que originalement leur cup était un peu plus serré, mais maintenant c'est beaucoup plus écarté. Donc ça force vraiment Helios de faire les petites passes comme ça parce qu'avant Helios était capable de faire les longues par-dessus une cup qui était si serrée.
Yeah, it was an interesting adjustment. I wonder if they went loose because they're saying, hey, this team's hucking it a lot. But now Helios is just like, okay, that's all right. We'll go shorter passes. I talked about it. That's my bad for talking about it. Moving right along. What? Gets that over to Upe. And that pass, a little too much sauce on it. Bounces off the hands of her receiver. Plaxton moves that to the middle. Phil Potts with the disc on the brick mark. Helios getting organized, signaling to get into their vertical. Goes around to Veller. Veller, somebody go, puts it up. Is it gonna work? No. Prince. Big presence. My new favorite GF player makes another play.
Once that disc is up, it's anyone's disc.
Bélanger. Unfortunate drop. Plaxton pointing, wanting a cut that's lateral. Instead, gets Veller coming underneath from the front of the stack. Veller looking for options. We'll go over the top to Talia Halperin, who just says, hey, my check's watching you, throw it over her head, and it works out for Helios, bringing our score to 7-5. And we were not capped for halftime. That is, we didn't get halfway through the time slot for this game before half, so half will be taken at 8. Helios is going to call a timeout. Use their last timeout of this half. Actually, I don't know if the last timeout of the half, but use a timeout as this half is almost over. You can't carry over all of your timeouts. So why not use one when you're 1 point away?
Timeouts can be used so strategically. Sometimes you can use it to kill momentum or do the controversial, there's a few minutes left to this game, maybe we'll pull a timeout.
Yeah.
What's your hot take on that?
Okay, I'm just gonna say this. In 2014, that's how old I am. Nationals was in Waterloo and I was playing with Blackfish, and we used a timeout to kill the clock to force a win on the cap. The other team was not pleased. I'll just leave it at that. but that is a strategy you can use. There are some tournaments, and it will be for our finals as well in this junior division, that there is no hard cap. So you can't actually kill the clock with timeouts. You have to score to the with soft cap, whatever the winning score is. So that does change the dynamic in using them. In games where soft cap is the dominant force, I mean, here we have a hybrid, we have soft and hard. But you might focus more on using timeouts of we need to get reorganized, or we want to slow the other team's energy down. They're just too much right now. They're too excited and have seized the momentum. We need to make them chill.
Especially when a team has scored 2 or 3 points in a row, sometimes killing that momentum has a huge difference.
Oh yes. And, Ultimate is a game of runs, as my co-coach in the University of Victoria, Oliver Telford, loves to say. So stopping that momentum can be huge. Yeah, seeing the wave from Helios on the line, as the Helios Open is also joining the party.
Even with the pom-poms, I love it.
So GF, we've remarked, is really good at moving the disc quickly, and they keep doing it against this zone. Both teams electing to get 5 players really up front into the mix and just force small errors with just so much pressure, and they'll just go for it right away. And Veller attempts the greatest, but the wind just pushing that out of bounds. Observer Sandra marks where the disc went out. Pomelo will fetch that. And we see the zone from Helios set back up. And look, 4 players here in the backfield for GF, all spread out, giving lots of options to the handler. Look how there's nobody in front of the cup.
I could see how that could be really tricky, especially when mistakes like that happen. But at the same time, I know the strategy of, you send it back and then you use that space by swinging across the field. But it comes with a risk. Yeah,
and if the mark's tight, it makes it a lot more difficult. Just off the hands of Veller, so GF is going to get another shot here. This time a few more players up front. And so we can see some crashes that is going into the cup. But that throw airs out for the intended receiver, and Robinson is there to knock it down. So Helios punches that in to Halperin, and it gives them the goal for a score of 8-5, and that should be our halftime, but we may have messed that up earlier. No, I'm seeing the signal for 7 minutes, so that is our halftime. We are going to play some ads for you on the stream, and after that, we will conduct some short interviews from some players from each of the teams here. So if you want to listen in, stay tuned. Otherwise, we'll be back in 7 minutes, and we're just going to mute ourselves while you hear those ads, and we go get those players.
I love working with a team towards a common goal.
For
the camaraderie.
Camaraderie and playing with my teammates.
I play for my team.
Teamwork and the connections that I can build on and off field.
For the community and the exercise.
Because of the community and the competition.
I like playing Ultimate Frisbee for the competition.
I play for the competition and the fun.
For fun.
Because fun.
I love getting to work hard.
You get out of it what you put into it.
Leave everything out here.
Every time I step on the field, I want to be a better player.
You know, give something people to talk about.
Be happy but never satisfied. To step away from real life and focus on Frisbee.
I play because I love Ultimate.
Find your drive.
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 Allô, je suis avec Eve aujourd'hui de Golden Fringants. Donc, on voulait savoir comment ça va à date, comment va la game.
Ça va quand même bien. Je pense que on veut vraiment aller chercher la game. C'était notre game de showcase. Hier, on voulait vraiment rentrer dedans. Malheureusement, à cause des orages, on était un peu déçus, mais là, vu qu'on la reprend, on est streamé, on est vraiment contente. C'est rare qu'on ait des opportunités d'être streamé, d'être filmé. Puis je pense que on veut vraiment aller la chercher, on va aller chercher d'intensité, puis on veut pouvoir la gagner. Fait que...
Est-ce que vous avez des buts ou des plans spécifiques que vous voulez faire pour la deuxième partie de la game?
À date, je sais pas, je peux aller voir avec mes coachs. Je pense que notre enjeu principal, c'est de garder l'intensité tout le long. Fait que je pense que ça va être de garder notre sideline, de pouvoir continuer à crier, de pouvoir garder l'énergie sur le jeu. Il y a des filles, ça fait plusieurs points qui jouent aussi. Fait que je pense que ça va être ça la majorité à travailler.
Puis, y a-t-il du monde qui veut vous dire bonjour?
Je vais dire bonjour à mes parents, à Carmen Bédard, à Catherine Ladouceur, ma belle-mère, mon père Vincent Desruisseaux, à mes amis qui vont peut-être regarder la vidéo, le monde à Sherbrooke, mes coéquipiers avec qui j'ai joué à Sherbrooke, puis mes amis.
Parfait, merci beaucoup, Eve, et bonne
Merci.
chance.
Okay, Clay's back and joined with Callie Veller.
Hi.
From number 5 from Helios. Callie, how's it going?
It's great. Super excited to be here. Love playing Frisbee.
Yeah. So my big question was, did you find there was a energy or pressure change after having your game in the showcase move to this time slot?
Well, going into it originally, before it got canceled, you could tell our team was really nervous. Like the mix of excitement and nerves. And I feel today, since we've already played two games, we're a bit more calm. We kind of know what we're doing now, so.
Settled in.
Yeah, I feel like even if we did play yesterday and it didn't get canceled, we would have settled in after 1 point, 2 points, so.
Oh, that's cool. What do you think they're talking about in your halftime huddle over there? I'm looking at your team right now. Okay, well now they're swaying. It looks like they're singing.
I think
but
they might be
before that,
cheering.
what's any strategy talk? Anything that your team has been saying on the sidelines we need to see more of, we need to see less of?
Well, we need to see less turnovers.
Yeah.
But that's any team says that, so. We've been trying really hard to work on just making sure we're not all cutting at once, giving it proper looks, you know, waiting through, not throwing it either right away or at the very last second. So probably working on that, and then just a couple little adjustments for individual players, but.
Awesome. And individually, like, I mean, I know you've gone through a day so far. Are you still looking forward to anything, excited about anything? What's more to come?
I'm very excited about everything in Frisbee. Team Canada's coming up, so I'm hoping to try out for that. I know a whole bunch of girls on my team and other teams are also looking forward to that, so excited to see all the faces that come out.
Fantastic. Anyone you want to say hi to?
My family, if you're watching.
Are they going to tell you, good job, you killed the interview, honey? Is that
I hope so. We'll see, though. I might just get made fun of a little bit.
Well, I'll have you know I've been holding it down for you. Kat over here said Kamloops with a C, and and then she called you Kelowna, and I'm backing you up here. So.
It's okay. We have some Kelowna girls, some Kamloops, some Grand Forks, some Merritt. We got them from all over the place.
I had no idea. So you've kind of absorbed the Okanagan there. And
Yep.
Lots of people. Hey, that's fantastic. I should have done my homework. Thanks so much for doing this interview, Callie. Your team looks ready to go, so we're going to let you go. Good luck the rest of the game.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Well, we're back. Helios is leading 8-5. No surprise to see them come down in a zone look. But GF moving the disc quickly. Getting a little static, but still working on trying to find holes with handlers that are moving rather than break the mark. But that throw is errant, and GF will drop into a match defense as Helios works it up to the middle of the field. Robinson doesn't like the outlook, pump fakes for an under. There's some contact in the middle. It looks like those players just got tangled up. Prince and Halperin seem fine, just a tangle. And it looks like they stopped play just to make sure everyone was okay, but there was no actual call. So observer Sandra's just gonna go over and say, hey, we stopped. Can you guys agree on a stall count? They do.
Shout out to our Team Orange. We love them.
They work really hard to keep the game moving and help this division knowing what to call and when and how to discuss it. Big bring down there by Gagnon to get the disc back for this hold opportunity for GF. Gagnon moves that over to Prince. They'll play some pass together. Helios doing a good job to get in the way immediately in the middle. They're content with these swings to create these opportunities. Prince brings that down. But just this middle clog by Helios. Lateral seems to be what they're fine with. And GF is attempting to crash through the middle, and they're getting some success. There's some middle. Oh, that was great middle movement by GF there. An unfortunate drop, but that's what they needed.
And they had a momentum going as well, too.
Yeah, and they'll get another opportunity here as both teams are just having the catches just out of reach thanks to these conditions. KM. Her throw is going to go high. A big attempt there by Ott, but it's just a bit too far. Bond takes her time looking for options. She had Halperin, but that throw is just a little too high. Halperin skips over. She's fine. Oh, she stepped on the disc. Now, you usually don't switch out the disc unless you pierce it or you break it, but
when you have cleats,
that's chalk one up to destruction. That throw too high, making the defensive play is Kinley Stewart. And that one is just thrown a bit behind her by Bond. She tries to get her hands on it, jumps up in the air, but can't bring it in. Upay plays some pass with Kayem. Remaining together still. They work it away. They work it across the field, I should say. Kayem's still there. Upay doesn't want that up the line. Maybe generate an option where they can flip the field again. Gagnon finds Kayem, who toes the line. But now stuck on the sideline. Big wrap D. Wow, the IO from Kayem. Loved the throw, but just bounces off Gagnon's hands. Kayem really made some great technique moves there to get around that zone. Stewart dumps that to Plaxton, but incomplete. Gagnon running up to the disc, wants someone to go. Glennis is wide open. She calls a timeout.
I don't know if you noticed, but number 74 on Golden Fringants, Gagnon, funny enough, adjusted her mark because something I noticed Helios does is that they only hold the disc in their right hand and they just fake it only with flicks, versus if you have your disc in both hands, it's really hard as a mark to know if you're going to throw it either a flick or a backhand, and it's harder to, like, it's a quicker way to dish it, versus because I guess Gagnon noticed that they only hold it in their right hand for a flick, she adjusted her mark to be more center to force her to swing it back.
Coach Cat over here. Yeah, that's an awesome insight. Going to that neutral stance, right? Holding it in both hands, holding it in front of your body, indicating, well, not indicating, I suppose, which way you're going to pivot. Giving yourself the option. Am I going to go backhand? Am I going to go flick? Can I fake anywhere? But when you hold it, you know, on your dominant hand side, which happens to be right for most of that team, and holding that flick out, you don't really have to defend the backhand.
No.
You're not worried, right? You can really bite on that inside, trying to get around the mark there. Instead of going around the mark, they're going for the inside. You can really bite on it, cause some turnovers. But we'll see if GF can get through this clock here. We've seen some breaks, but this moving it to the open side and then getting trapped is where Helios has had the advantage. So Clayem gets it, she'll get around. She's got the breaks, so she stays on the open side to move it around. Get the right people in the right place. Gagnon will move it over to Upe. Bounces off her hand. Don't think she knew she could have left it for Derizo, but no luck. Bond wants some options. She'll go for the flick break. It pops up in the air, but a huge sky by Kinley Stewart keeps it alive for Helios. They are 5 yards outside of the end zone. She'll pitch that to Veller. Plaxton. I like that. I like that look. I felt that she had the distance. She had the separation from Robinson. She was well enough away from her check to kind of pitch that out. I think Robinson just wasn't fully committed to that cut. But this zone from Helios has been doing work. Gagnon has to hit the ground to keep that alive. Bounces off Upe. I think Upe was looking for the next throw before she totally reeled it in. Bond will ISO with Robinson. It's not there. Instead, good heads up by number 9, Kinley Stewart, to bring it in for Helios.
I love seeing teams end zone plays, especially juniors. I love how juniors is so structured. You could see her pick up the disc, walk it to the line as you saw the rest of Helios set up in a beautiful vertical stack, and then as soon as she tapped it in, you saw your ISO didn't get it, and then the next person went to do a break cut, and that's the point.
It's very true. These teams rely on systems, right? So everyone can stay organized. In the junior division, I mean, junior we often refer to age, but it's also, you know, amount of years with knowledge, right? And sometimes you need a big structural base and to know where everybody expects to go and everything. So you often see in this division lots of teams very rigid in what they do, because you have to build that knowledge base and that experience to get everybody on the same page.
Well, it's why sometimes Masters teams that scrimmage juniors teams is always interesting, because juniors go in thinking, oh, this is going to be so easy to run them down. But then Masters come in with all their wisdom and really trick juniors.
Why did you air quote wisdom?
Because that's what comes with age.
I'm just putting you on the spot. There were no air quotes, but we were all thinking it, us Masters people. Bazile will flip that to the middle. Number 7, Pomerlo. Didn't like her options. Bazile finds that big IO flick. love the look, but just the wind is popping these throws up. They're so difficult to catch right now. Speaking of, another throw that the wind took. I didn't like that one. That felt like it was throwing over a lot of people and right over the receiver's head. That seemed pretty difficult.
I think there was a lot of excitement with that throw.
Yeah.
It just seemed so exciting because she did have someone who was already in the end zone.
Yeah.
So I can understand.
And Gwen's story, quite tall. A few stories tall, you might say. So GF seemed to be running out of options, but that laser of a throw fielded by Belanger. So GF gets some yards in the zone, but they need more people. Get it moving, something dynamic. Get it through. Handler's left alone. You got to cut for it to get open or force a difficult throw, and Helios does force that difficult throw and tries to air it out to number 7, Berkeley Donaldson, whose body language I think suggested, wow, that's real far.
It's also sometimes tricky when you're running against your own player.
Yeah, like who's gonna get it?
Right?
I believe that was dropped, and there could be an injury or a loss of an earring. So 57, Juliette Basile will.
I think that's one of our first conversations we had when I met you yesterday was, I can't believe the amount of jewelry you see in ultimate frisbee.
Yeah, it's interesting. A lot of sports you're not allowed, but you don't see it pose too much of a risk here often. And there's a call, but I believe it wasn't part of the play. That throw was a valid live throw and it was dropped. Nope, I'm wrong. That was 2 throws after the call. Only the first throw would stand. I think it seemed to me Palmer's drop was the play's dead, right?
I think
But
so.
Fessenden with the disc is getting clarification from Team Orange. Observer Baggage down there telling them what's up. Bags, as he's referred to in Vancouver. He's a great observer.
He's so great.
Fessenden will go around, but the throw is low and Donaldson can't get it. So GF just working so hard against this zone. The around throws have been forced up and up, and Palmer will put that to Donaldson, and Helios brings that in, bringing our score to 10-5. Seems to me, Kat, that Helios has figured out their defensive formula.
Absolutely. It seems that we only saw it once, and that was when the Golden Fringants was able to do a long pass, a huck, during one of the cups that they put on, but they haven't done it since.
No. And it seems like I've noticed that the cup in front, where we were seeing like 5-6 players from Helios really getting aggressive, they actually only gone forward. They're dropping a few players back now. Maybe they noticed it was overkill. But what I'm not seeing is I'm not seeing anyone from GF run in to that dump space. They start in the dump space, you know, parallel to the handler and stand there, and it's almost giving that body language of, hey, break the mark, I'm here for you, I'll swing it. That doesn't work.
No.
Right? You have to come down from vertical space higher in the field, or at least run closer to the handler, and then as soon as you get that easier dump pass, have someone to swing to immediately, and you need another player to back you up on that. And we're not seeing that from GF right now. They're just trying to rely on throws in really difficult conditions. They need to get their legs back and their give-goes that we were seeing earlier. Typically from actually a lot of the players out right now, like I want to shout out number 13, Clayem. She has just been stellar in getting the disc off the sideline. And you'll see her move from the middle of the field into the handler space if given the chance, but that throw is too low. So DeBerkler's able to pick up for Helios and work it up from half here. Robinson looking for options. Oh, that's just bobbled by Peyton Alberts. Alberts got up to get that, but while trying to keep her feet in, bobbled the disc. So Luciana Kayem has been dependable, but again, her team just forcing her to win it with the throws.
Comme tu avais mentionné, il y avait personne qui rentrait dans la coupe pour essayer de faire une option ou même bouger les joueurs un petit peu.
Wow. Claxton, or excuse me, that was Alberts, just a gunslinger out there, immediately going for the big OI shot to the back of the end zone to Robinson. Gives Helios the upwind break. The score now 11-5. And with a time of 5:35, we have 20 minutes left in this game. 6-point deficit. It does not look good for GF.
Well, I will say, GF, when they came to do their interview, said that they were going to come in with a lot of energy, so you never know what can happen in a second half.
You're just going to make me look real dumb if they come back now. That's fine. I mean, you're right. You are right.
The glass is always half full.
It is true. You don't ever want to count a team out. Comebacks in Ultimate do happen all the time. We were saying it is a game of runs, right? It could be that was Helios' run. They sure just went on one now. The score was 7-5. Now it's 11-5.
And we've seen that as a pattern where Helios will get a couple in a row, and then all of a sudden Golden will make an adjustment based on the coaches, and their adjustment works really well, and they'll catch up a little bit, and then so on and so on. So
yeah,
it'll be cool if it does turn around, though.
Yeah,
I love games that do that.
Yeah, and to do so, GF called a timeout to get organized here. Got the energy up with a big cheer.
And we were mentioning earlier, we love that Shal, the coach, is really involved. He's really warming up with the players and really challenging them and super involved. So shout out to the coaches of Golden Fringants.
Yeah, it was Charles Lambert laying out in the drills, getting his players fired up and wanting to play. Volunteering them to come do interviews. That was one of my other favorite parts.
Isn't that the greatest? Young superstars.
Yeah.
But no, it's fun to see your coach also lay out. It really sets the level and the bar and shows you, if your coach can do it, you can do it too.
Am I going to have to go lay out at practice now?
Yes. Got to set the tone.
I mean, I do it all the time. It's no problem. When you're 40, laying out doesn't hurt.
Grandmasters.
All right, GF signaling they're ready. I predict a zone from Helios. That pull will land inbounds. And we do have the zone look from Helios. They'll probably be content to play a lot of containment right now with such a lead. Now we're seeing some foot movement, some crashing the cup, coming in and out, trying to find some holes. Love to see this kind of zone O from GF. There it is. If you can keep it going, keep that momentum up, the cup won't collapse as it has now. Keep the disc moving. Right now, a dump behind. Okay, never mind. Find the hole. Bailon was left alone and is now looking for options. She'll play some path with a Ewan Caldwell and try and go around, but there's a foul on the throw.
And that's exactly what we were just saying, what we want to see is just a little bit more aggression in crashing the cup. And you can see it too. It's timid, and I understand why. It's scary to see three big bodies blocking you from going to see your handler.
Oh yeah, but I mean, once they started going, they were owning the show. It was fantastic. You could see, like, I got the shift. I got excited. That was really good offense.
Exactly. Don't be shy.
Yeah, and it put them in control. So if they can punch in a score here and start scoring quick, and that's a tough one, as Audrey Bellon does call a foul on the contact. I think that's legit, as she was about to catch it. Likely could have had a second effort, but then there was what I feel was some incidental contact from the defensive play by Lily Eckerman. Although it's difficult, I mean, in Eckerman's point, she's like, well, I can't, get out of the space of where I was for you to come through me and make the catch. So Eckerman will have a point here as well. So when I say legit, this is one you talk about. I think if Eckerman makes the argument that I can't get out of the way, but they're going to signal goal.
Et encore, c'est une chose avec le Ultimate, c'est on encourage vraiment que les joueurs en parlent ensemble, les règles, et puis ils ont une discussion. Puis là, au pire, s'ils sont pas capables de trouver une conclusion ensemble, ils peuvent aller voir les observers. Puis c'est là où notre observers ont été vraiment utiles, puis nous ont dit que c'était un point pour Golden Fringants. And you see, now it's turning around.
Glass half full. I wish I could have listened in on the resolution there, because what I think the point was, because usually when they signal goal in the end zone, right after getting fouled, they're saying you had it and then you didn't, thanks to the foul. So it must have been in the view of the players and the observers that when Bellon was fouled, that it was kind of in her hands, and then taking that contact pushed it out. So
one day when we'll be high tech, we'll have our observers mic'd up. We have?
We have, yes. It has been a thing before, which is cool.
I hope it becomes another thing.
Don't have it right now. I'm not a technology expert, but it has been a thing.
Love.
Maybe we'll see it. We should ask Team Orange.
We will.
DeVries. She's facing this pentagon of a zone that we've seen from these teams all day. New zone look just dropped. Hearing a lot of coaching from the sideline to keep the disc moving and people to move. There was the upline movement, but that throw is just thrown to a give-go blindly, and GF is there to make the defensive play. GF is looking a little disorganized. Lots of cutters in the middle. Looking for a reset. Rupe is there to help. Now GF, well, trying to get organized, but still a lot of cutting happening at the same time. Class keeps it up. Looking for options. She runs out of time, has to pitch it up. And Susanna DeVries is there to break it up, but then it bounces off the hands of Bond. Gagnon picks it up immediately. She wants some options upfield. She'll look to Gagnon, and they will play together. Team Gagnon getting it done for GF here. And a great break to number 9, Marguerite Ott, for the goal. Hey, Kat, you're... So I'm just going to say you're right about everything, because that's a break for GF now. It's 11-7.
I'm just going to say it. But I do want to shout out to Gagnon for her beautiful up-the-line cut. I noticed that with Golden Fringants, especially their bail system, is that they lack a commitment as they go up the line for their handler. They usually kind of get discouraged halfway, and they feel like their defender can't beat them, so then they turn around, but the defender is still glued on them, versus Gagnon really saw that this was a foot race that she was going to win.
Yeah. It's good, in my mind, when you know you're about to win that foot race, and go for it, because you'll if it looks like you're winning, you're probably going to pull defenders away from the other checks and then open up what was that backhand break, right? Like, the reason that throw was able to go off is because there was help defense on what looked like someone getting beat up the line. So you're right, that was a really smart take by Gagnon to go up the line, whether she was going to get it or not, because she had her check beat. Helios has called the timeout. We were talking about this earlier. Yes. Right? There's a momentum shift. We've got 2 points in a row by GF. There is enough time with 12 minutes for them to stay in this game. Scoring 3 more points in 12 minutes is not impossible, and that would keep the game within 1 to probably put them in a position where they don't have to worry about the cap. So Helios calling that timeout to slow things down, eat up a little bit of the clock here.
11-7.
Yes. I should have listened to you.
It's okay, I just jinxed it.
Both these teams did set goals for the tournament. Helios is looking for top 8, so that is to make quarters, while GF wants to play at least in the 9 to 16 bracket, because there are 24 teams in each division. So making that second level is GF's goal. Helios is making that first level. I believe the winner of this game will qualify for a crossover, which means it's win that game, you go to quarters.
Well, that'll be quite the plot twist for a Golden Fringants if they win.
Yeah, that would put them into that second bracket contention immediately if they won. So it looks like Dean just established her feet in bounds there after being out. If you go out of bounds and you reestablish in, that is nothing is touching out of bounds, your body is in before you touch the disc, you are considered in bounds. It's not football. Helios making some quick decisions and some athletic plays as Eckerman is able to get that to Emily Vince off of a big huck by Jackson Palmer. So some players from Helios that we haven't seen on the field for a little while getting that quick point done to keep them working towards that top 8 bracket.
Malgré le point que Helios a fait, je ne sais pas si tu as remarqué, Clay, mais on dirait que Golden Fringants, ils ont ajusté leur cup et puis ils étaient plus écartés encore. Donc, it caused more of a challenge for Helios to get their way down, but I think they're starting to realize and click in ways and pointers to help them put on a defense against Helios.
It is cleared up here. We still have a lot of that wind, but it is hot at the end of our day here in Edmonton. This is the last game of the day. So that pull was whiffed and then took an unfortunate roll. GF's gonna have this on the sideline about 14 yards outside of the end zone. That's my expert estimation. Gagnon picks up. Kayem goes up the line, but there's a lot of traffic in front of her, so that throw is not viable. Same with Rupé, and Gagnon runs out of time, and that pass to Elise is in the ground. Lots of signaling to eventually get it to Philpotts. She puts that up the middle. Some very aggressive pump faking, directing traffic by number 14, Peyton Alberts. And her throw does not connect, so GF chance for the hold again here. Gagnon. That's Alice looking for some options. She'll find Prince. Philpotts did a good job to stifle that huck as GF was wide open deep. And with some wide arms is able to force an errant throw. Oh, just off of the neck, chin area of number 4, Halperin. And she calls a foul. And it's contested. Fun fact, Halperin committed to UVic next year. New favorite Helios player.
I see.
Sorry, rest of Helios.
So you're
I'm a
gonna
little biased.
So you're gonna have to show her how to lay out at practice.
No, it's not me. Coach Nate
Oh.
and Coach Amir will have to do that. Oh, that's difficult to dig out of the ground for Callie Veller there, but you can tell she wanted it. Ott looking for options. She'll get that around the pass in the middle. Pass wanted the swing. No one was really ready for it. Gagnon comes back instead. They get it to Bélanger. And the pass too low for Gagnon. Claxton goes for Philpotts. Prince making the athletic bid. I think it's fine. I felt this was the athletic. The contact wasn't too bad.
From the tower, it looked like Pince was there first, and then unfortunately, she just ran into her.
Yeah.
And then
I felt that wasn't. She didn't seem to have a direct line into Philpotts' core, right? Like
No.
that wasn't.
Or there was
So-
no blind spots or anything
Yeah,
like that.
exactly. So great D by her.
And no injuries.
Yes. Great result. Great athletic grab by Ott. But she'll need some options. There's a lot underneath on the side. GF does play a lot of hex, but we're not really seeing much dribbling. That is a lot of movement between the handlers when you're playing against the match defense. Veller saying, I got the stall 10 off, stall down. I can't seem to tell. So this
Non-contested?
discussion is brought to you by hand signals. Please use them.
You know, there's one team that does a really good job at hand signals. It's a Quebec women's team from Montreal. Venus.
Oh yeah.
Venus does the best hand signals, and there was a call, and I remember their side was like, hand signals, and they did it, and it was phenomenal because everyone understood what it was called.
It is very helpful for all involved, including your teammates. So after the disc changes hands a few times, Helios has it, but there's a pick call. And I wanted to ask you something, but thought I should get back to the game, but I'm going to take this opportunity now. Does Venus still have the unicorn hats?
No. Don't think so.
Anyone from Venus, if I can get my hands on one of those, you would make my wife very happy.
Well, they have 3 days to listen to this, and oh, wait,
Yeah,
never
mail
mind.
it to me. Yeah,
I'm
I don't
so
think
sorry.
I could. It might not be a good chance. All right, Claxton. Moving the disc around, eventually gets into Philpotts' hand. Veller. There's a pick call downfield. Seems to be some confusion. I think there was a pick call a few throws ago, and the backfield wasn't aware. So I should say the handlers weren't aware.
Okay, hot take.
Okay.
I'm finding sometimes when I notice games are really tense, there's more calls.
Hot take. Fact of ultimate, actually. I think every single player would agree with you. That is a very normal take. Veller with that grab. That's athletic. That's cool.
And that's a point.
Yeah, another point for Helios. That makes it 13-7 with a time of 5:53. We'll be getting capped in 2 minutes. Or perhaps, oh, you know what? I didn't get to talk about caps. Sad face. But it was soft cap, so it was game to 13. That's the dub for Helios. Sorry, listeners, you don't get to hear me yet again talk about the cap. Kat, what'd you think of that game?
That was a great game. It was really cool to see both teams making adjustments throughout the game and calling strategic timeouts to make those adjustments, and then seeing them and seeing the each player really adjust their plays and adjust their cuts and adjust even their stance. Like I noticed in the second half, Helios, a lot of them started holding disc with both hands. So maybe someone's listening on the sideline.
Yeah, that was a great take, that neutral stance. I love that, but that is the game. Helios walking away in their pool with 1 win. Golden Fringants, they did not get any wins, but I believe they still play in a crossover to try and keep themselves in the 9th place bracket. Tomorrow, we will be streaming. I believe, I'm looking at producer Sarah, I believe we're starting our first stream at 10:30 tomorrow. 8:30, pardon me. So 8:30 Mountain Time is our first stream tomorrow, so you can join us for that. It will be a busy day tomorrow with crossovers and some quarters, so please join us for the excitement tomorrow as the chips will start to fall. Kat, that was a fun game. We'll send off, and I think you're just going to cover our last details in French.
Oui, c'est ça. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Demain, on va revenir à 8h30 le matin Mountain Time. Et puis un gros merci d'avoir participé.
All right, so long everybody.